6 long years as the coach, has the message run dry?
Yeah, I'm happy for the sake of this podcast, but how did that happen?
That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Okay.
Levente, I'm coming at you here.
Wow.
And I think the Savage
voicemailer
Spears
beef.
touch quick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're rolling at you live with it's been a little bit. It's been 9-10 days since our last episode.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. We have a lot to go over, a ton to go over. We have our giveaway winner, which will happen during this episode. We have All-Stars, which obviously debuted, which we're going to go over the teams that are in it, the first 2 events that we've now seen. And we're also going to have our first round of the Marble Madness bracket.
Very fired up for that.
So fired up for that.
Also, we've gotten some good contact with the All-Stars.
Yes.
As you see my sweatshirt. We'll get into that. But I just want to say thank you for everyone filling out those brackets. How many do we end up having total?
265, 270?
I mean, awesome from everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great event. First time doing it for us, so I think we're gonna get better and better as we go on through the Madness Challenge.
Yeah,
and
we'll
it's going to be a lot of fun.
We'll touch on some things regarding the bracket, like maybe we'll do a giveaway at the end because there should be something at the end for the winner.
Absolutely,
it's going to be cool to see that leaderboard as it shifts up and down.
And speaking of giveaway too, we will do the giveaway at the end of the video here.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have been asking. We did not forget. We have the giveaway coming at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that.
We do. I want to start with you, Shim. So congrats, first of all. Ohio State alumni. You won the college football championship. You're a Chiefs fan. Your team is in the AFC championship. And now the Limers were somehow just gifted an invitation to the Marble League All-Stars. A lot of people were up in arms about this, kind of not including me. I'm happy for the sake of this podcast, but how did that happen?
It's a great day to be me right now. I'm really feeling good. I'm sky high right now. There was a lot of murmurs when this All-Star lineup got released. Let's just take a look at the leaderboard after 2 events and see if those people continue to murmur.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to. That's hindsight, though. But if 2 weeks ago, a week ago, before this, when this lineup was announced and we hadn't played any events yet, we're looking at the likes of Savage Speeders, 2 Marble League titles, O'Rangers, Marble League title, Midnight Whips, Raspberry Racers, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Pinkies, Mellow Yellow, all Marble League titles, Momo, Marble League title. And then we go into other teams that at least have hardware from Marble League. Green Ducks, Oceanics, Hazers, Minty Maniacs, Galactic, all have hardware. Balls of Chaos and Primary we'll get into, but then there's the Limers here. Their best Marble League finish ever, 10th place. That is not even a top half of a leaderboard.
It says a lot about the fan base. Yelly talked about All-Stars. Obviously, it's performance, but also it's fan bases and what drives the views, what drives people to tune in and watch. I'll tell you this: I know all the people in the Limers community is they're proud to be Limer fans, and I think maybe that fandom got the Limers in there. I do agree with what people are saying, but you know what? We're coming out there and we're proving it. We're proving why we should be here. And I have to give the flowers to Team Primary as well, because we've been grouped in with Team Primary. Those 2 probably don't deserve to be in the All-Stars, but as we look at the leaderboard, number 1 and 2. So
yeah, we'll get into the leaderboard
works.
in a minute. I just around these teams also so Balls of Chaos, Primary, Limers, 3 teams that were highly debated. I actually saw some people sent me things that that people were saying that we might have had some influence on the teams that were selected.
I wish that was true.
Yeah, I wish that was true as well. That's funny, but it is pretty odd how it worked out in our favor in terms of like the amount of storylines we have now. We have your Limers, we have my Rangers, we have the Team Primary podcast that we are, and also Oceanics, your heated rival, Minty Maniacs, the Mint Mobile team, Green Ducks, a team that we've highlighted a lot recently. Just a lot of storylines going into this.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think that's kind of why we're also excited about the All-Stars.
Yeah.
It's a great event, but also just like the names that we have, and I think that's the whole point of this All-Stars event. It's great to see those Limers race down the track again. It's great to see the O'Rangers back. I can't say the same about the Oceanics, but for the storyline, it's great to see them out there and losing. It's awesome. I think it's been a great event through 2 races here, and we're going to continue to see the Limers dominate.
Yeah. Should we hop into this leaderboard now? Because as you said, Limers, a team that nobody thought should be here, but now look at them.
I'm quite eager to talk about the leaderboard, as if you can tell.
Do you want to start with bobsled, or should we just jump right into where we stand right now? We can go into where we stand, and then we'll go back and maybe highlight the events.
Yeah, we could touch on both events because I know the bobsledding event had its share of storylines.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the standings in general. Obviously, I mentioned the Limers number 1 after a great short track event.
Can I say something quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's one thing I wanted to touch on. The teams that probably people were arguing should have been in ahead of these Limers primary and Balls of Chaos. The Bumblebees was thrown out there. They have a second place in the Marble League. A little bit have a head scratcher why they're not getting in over the Limers. Shining Swarm also has a second place in a Marble League. Thunderbolts, I think they have a third place, but a couple of other high finishes. So you really kind of you're scratching your head a little bit when you're looking at the teams that didn't make it in. But I think you're right. Popularity played a factor. We have all the fruit circuit marbles in here.
Love it.
So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Sorry.
No big deal. I love it. Anytime we're talking about the Limers, I love it. So pretty crazy to hear that though. The Bumblebees second place and the Limers with a 10th place finish got in. That's awesome. No, I think overall it's great seeing the names here on the leaderboard. Some interesting names here at the top. You know, I think the O Rangers, the emergence of them coming back in the fold at 6th place right now on the leaderboard is big. And the question I always like to ask is, will you see fatigue play a factor? Momo had obviously a great run in Marble League. Will he start to be tired? You look at somebody like the Hazers maybe raced, the Green Ducks, the Savage Speeders, CCE. Will these teams have some fatigue here in the All-Stars events?
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be something that's highlighted. And as we can see, Primary and Limers and Minty Maniacs, really 3 teams that we did not see in Marble League now stay at the top of the podium. So whether that's well-rested or just good preparation remains to be seen. We'll see how that tracks throughout the whole event. But do you want to go into the bobsled real quick?
Yeah, let's touch on the bobsled. I don't know if you had some notes on the bobsledding.
Yeah, there's the glaringly obvious thing, the Chocolatiers 2.0, Balls of Chaos. But Chocolatiers didn't quite stop when Marble League was going on this year, but Balls of Chaos literally stopped 3 separate times on this bobsled track. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of fuel to your conspiracy theory when it comes to the bobsledding event.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to dive into what was said on Reddit because I know Reddit was a hot place. People were firing off with ideas of what's going on. I enjoyed it. I had my popcorn watching it. I'll say that. I don't really buy into the whole conspiracy theories of the track was greased. It wasn't greased, but it certainly was interesting. I'll say that. It certainly was eyebrow raising. When we saw some of these racers, especially the Balls of Chaos, struggling so much.
Yeah. Another note I did have is when you looked at how teams did that were in Marble League 24 compared to how they did in the All-Stars. So teams that did compete in bobsled in Marble League and how they did in this race, it was actually pretty similar. We saw Momo, Galactic, Cat's Eyes, and Speeders all finish within 1 or 2 spots of what they finished in the Marble League. So it was kind of a good indication of how talented that team actually is in this event.
Absolutely.
And it was strangely enough, Galactic, it was one of their better events last year. Obviously, they didn't have very many, but a 4th place finish, I think, in both was nice to see. But yeah, just Balls of Chaos. We touched on the 3 teams who maybe don't belong here, and it's showing that Balls of Chaos probably are the ones that don't.
Yeah, 2 last place finishes. Again, a team that raced in Marble League, new air coach, Juan Rong. You know what? It's 2 events. I don't want to overreact after 2 events, but obviously not the start you want for the All-Stars events when it comes to the Balls of Chaos.
I think maybe they're having a little bit of regret about getting into this whole thing. Maybe they needed a little bit of time off after that Marble League, getting a medal in the last event, maybe gassed them out. But are you tired or something?
I'm tired from watching the Balls of Chaos on the bobsled.
You got a lot of yawns coming out of your camp over there.
I'm thinking of the bobsled and how slow it was going down the track, and that just makes me ready for a nap.
That was just a live action of you watching the bobsled.
Yeah, basically. It was a flashback.
I have a serious struggle. That video was like 30 minutes extra longer because Balls of Chaos just couldn't make it down.
It was painful. It was very painful.
Yeah. Should we move into short track? I mean, 2 great events to start. Bobsled and short track were 2 of our favorites from Marble League. So really cool to see them.
Yeah, before we move in, just let's give the flowers to the bobsledding podium here. The team primary, obviously a 1st place finish. After all the, I'll say smack that was talked about them on Reddit, Discord, wherever, I think it was great for that camp to come out and just kind of stick it to the man and come with a 1st place finish there in the bobsled. Momo continues dominance with a 2nd place finish. And Mellow Yellow, a team that is always strong. In any event you see them at, they're always strong. So
what did you think of Momo coming in that high there?
Honestly, it shocked me. I think maybe it was a little bit of adrenaline just because they've been flying so high. I expect them, just because it's so hard to maintain excellence, that they might taper off here.
They're in form.
They just might taper off. I just don't. It's fatigue. How long can you sustain that excellence? It's hard.
And on the other end, we saw Crazy Cat's Eyes down the leaderboard, back-to-back events.
It kind of proves my point that I was just saying.
Yeah.
Crazy Cat's Eyes have had a long season of great performances. Sometimes you just need a break, and sometimes you don't have it. And I think we might be seeing that with Crazy Cat's Eyes here.
Yeah, and obviously this event is ranked a little bit less highly than Marble League itself. So these teams are probably like, all right, we didn't quite make it happen in the real event, so let's maybe take our foot off the gas. Any other team you want to touch on before we just head into the short track? Let's head into the short track, and then we'll just kind of cover off on this leaderboard as a whole.
Yeah. No.
Short track.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's probably my favorite event I've seen all year.
Ever. Of all time.
Limers take first place.
Pretty dominant.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, I want to say that last 2 win gold, I think they were 2.5 seconds, 2 seconds above everybody else. An interesting foursome there. It was the Limers, the Minties, Hazers, and O-Rangers.
Yeah.
Just an interesting group there. I believe all teams besides the Hazers that haven't competed in Marble League.
They didn't compete in the Marble League this year, and the Hazers were pretty bad side.
A bad Marble League team this year. So interesting there. I always like the short track. I especially like when the Limers are winning. So I thought it was a great event overall.
I did too. Balls of Chaos, another 16th place, just looking like they really don't belong. Raspberry Racers, a team that's a little bit more shocking to see down the leaderboard. Second to last and a third to last finish in the first two events. Not following up on a pretty shoddy Marble League as well. So I don't really know what's going on there, Camp.
Yeah, it's interesting. I looked down this list as well. I mean, a team I have to mention, and Russ probably has it in the notes here, but the Oceanics, really not a good event for them. Anytime they perform poorly, I love to say it out loud. We look at this leaderboard, they're in 10th place right now. What's going on in their camp?
How big was the smile on your face when Limers and Oceanics were paired in the first group and Limers got on top of them?
It's when it's going good, it's going good. It's been going really good in my camp lately, so I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah. But no, to speak on the Oceanics, a team that I expect to bounce back here, rested team, obviously won the MS 100 last year. I don't hate them. I just want everyone to know that it's him that hits them. There's part of me that secretly maybe kind of roots for them.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Good.
I don't know. I'm excited to see them going forward in this event. I see them coming at least in the top half.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, my confidence, that probably seems like arrogance. It's 2 events, so I'm going to enjoy the Limers.
Oh yeah, but you have to.
I'm going to enjoy the podium here, but anything can happen, as we know.
Stand on your soapbox.
I don't I don't know if the Limers are going to stay there. Probably not. But you know what? There's something to be said about the Limers in Team Primary 1 and 2. I mean, they definitely heard everyone talking smack.
Yeah.
So I love it.
We're definitely happy to see it. And I'll just touch on the O-Rangers quick out of my camp. Kind of seeing a lot of the same mid-table mediocrity. You're just really sleepy over there.
I don't know. I just was up celebrating last night.
It's a lot of Limers victories.
Yeah.
O-Rangers 8 points and 12 points. Smack dab right kind of in the upper middle section of this leaderboard. Kind of exactly where we were in the MS 100. I don't know.
I think you're fine. Again, it's 2 events out of 8.
Yeah.
I think anywhere from the Wisps to Team Primary, Limers, you're all in the same boat. Again, let's see where we're at after event 4. I don't know, halfway through this series.
Yeah. Should we do, before we move on, we're going to listen to some of your guys' voicemails and then do the giveaway winner and then head into the Marble Madness. But should we do a little bit of predictions, or do you want to give me maybe 2 teams you're rooting for aside from the Limers? I don't know. What do you want to do?
I kind of like some predictions, because I think the teams we're rooting for are kind of obvious. I'm Limers, Team Primary, O-Rangers. Obviously, I'm not rooting for the Oceanics. A team I see continuing success, I'm going to go with Team Primary. I really actually like them above the Limers in continued success. I just think it's their time. Another team, and I mentioned them before, Mellow Yellow. I always think they're a strong marble. I see both of those teams probably in the top 5 next time we check in here, maybe in next week in next week's video.
Yeah, I was going to touch on Mellow Yellow as well. I like them a lot. Obviously rested, probably pissed off that they missed out on Marble League and looking to show that was an anomaly. I don't know that I like Midnight Wisp, but as a team that I would like to see contend with these teams.
Agreed.
Won a Marble League in 2018. Haven't really been heard from much since then. Would love to hear from them now. But really, I'm really liking this event, and I like the amount of skill that we're seeing aside from Balls of Chaos from all the event. You're going to get top talent every time you turn on the screen.
For sure. Even we look down at the bottom of the leaderboard. The Green Ducks, Savage Speeders, Pinkies, Crazy Cat's Eyes, all below. Outside of the top 10. Again, fatigue or not, but there are always teams that could jump right back in that top 5. So don't count them out for sure, as we've learned.
Yeah. So really excited for these next events coming up. And we'll obviously keep covering this as the weeks go by, along with our Marble Madness stuff. But do we want to do voicemails or giveaway real quick? Should we sneak the giveaway in?
Let's sneak the giveaway in because
Okay.
I know that's highly anticipated.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are looking for that.
We let's just make it clear. We
Yeah.
haven't been running away from the giveaway. Obviously, we've been very busy. Marble Madness, a lot of good voicemails, comments, subscribers, everything. So we didn't forget about the giveaway. I believe we have three
winners.
So again, we're going to continue to do this. I think it's a great thing to do for you guys watching along. And make sure you keep watching because who knows? Next giveaway could be next week, could be in a couple weeks,
And it could be you that wins.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so if by the time this comes out, we either have contacted you or we'll contact you shortly. But the winners are, little drum roll. Mic drum roll. Our first winner is Dalton, 1294. Dalton, thank you so much for your comment and for being a subscriber. And I don't know, appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
The number 2 is going to be Raven the Surge.
Raven the Surge, always great comments from
Yeah,
Raven the Surge.
Yeah.
Lengthy comments, good detail. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
so
good support.
You're a big winner there.
Yeah, awesome guy. And then we got Gibul. Also, thank you for subscribing. Awesome comments. We appreciate you just being a supporter. All you guys being supporters, not just the winners, but everyone.
Absolutely. Easiest way to win these things is just keep subscribing, keep commenting. We read almost every comment, every comment.
Yeah, we respond to all of them.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely appreciate your support and keep subscribing and commenting because, like I said, we're going to do more of these.
Should we go into some voicemails?
Let's do some voicemails.
Yeah,
a couple.
We have a lot.
A couple returning voicemails.
A bunch of returning voicemails. We have a ton of voicemails because we obviously haven't been on here in like 10 plus days. In the last couple episodes, we were focused on the bracket, so it's been almost 2 weeks since we've done voicemails. So excited to get into a couple. Should we go with our boy first?
Let's go with our boy. Talked about a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
Our boy Jared. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Jared here. It's been a while since you've heard from me, and I believe you owe the Jungle Jumpers community an apology at the very least. Now, they didn't podium, so you don't have to get a fish and name it Jared, although that would be cool.
That would be cool.
But Jungle Jumpers finishing top 5, how about that? Way above everyone's expectations, including yours, multiple times after you doubted them, and you doubled down and tripled down on it. Now, I don't direct the apology at me. Truth be told, I'm not even a Jungle Jumpers fan. I just noticed, I made an observation they were going into the Marble League hot, and I wanted to stick up for that community, that fan base. My best friend is a Jungle Jumpers fan, so I was just calling in to mention that. I'm a Green Ducks fan. Let me be clear. I'm happy about the 4th place finish, but we're starting to become known as chokers among the Marble, universe. Okay, we did it in Marbula 1. We did it in Marble League. I don't know if we run out of gas or the moment gets too big for us, but we are bag salesmen. We sell in the biggest moments. We're the 76ers of basketball, or of Marble League, and we're the Dallas Cowboys of Marble League. But how do you guys feel about some new moves? The Hazers, Smokey leaving, and they got a new head coach, and some other moves around the league. How do you guys feel about that?
A lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Love hearing from Jared.
Great voicemail from Jared, even though we're not the best of friends.
No, we're not. I still think we should get him on the podcast.
Yeah, no, he's got a great voice for a podcast.
He does, and he's clearly a ball watcher. A lot of that voicemail was just knowing ball, and
he's a ball watcher.
He does. I mean, he's the one that called Jungle Jumpers, called his shot that Jungle Jumpers would be around in that Marble League, and they were. However, they did fall a little. Like when we first got to that voicemail, they were sitting in like 2nd or 1st place. They did fall a little bit to 5th.
Yeah, they faltered, and at one point after we kind of first met Jared, I think they were down to like 8th or 9th. They were jumping all over the place.
Right. Yeah.
After a good start.
To answer, just to follow up, Jared, I'm not going to apologize about the Jungle Jumpers.
It's absolutely nobody.
It was absolutely nobody. If they had podiumed, I think that would have warranted an apology and a fish. I will say they exceeded expectations, but they didn't get a medal. Where's the hardware?
No, I agree. Yeah, if you're not first, you're last, as they say. Not a bad Marble League for the Jungle Jumpers, but I'm not apologizing either. if you're a Jumpers fan, you're happy, but they didn't get on the podium. So what are we celebrating?
Yeah, I guess it's a building block for the future, but I'm not ready to apologize until I see them get first, second, or third, and maybe we're a little bit enemies of the Jungle Jumpers now. Seems that we've developed that.
I'll be a villain.
Yeah,
I love being a villain. Let's talk about his green ducks.
I was going to say,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry,
no,
you
go.
Cut you off.
No,
it's interesting because I didn't know he was a Green Ducks fan.
Yeah,
so
I didn't either.
That's interesting. We've talked about the Green Ducks a lot.
He was going to die on that Jungle Jumpers hill, and he wasn't even a Jungle Jumpers fan.
He wasn't even a Jungle Jumpers fan. I'm disagreeing with Jared in the fact that they aren't chokers. I think they've had a heck of a couple months here, ups and downs to say the least. I think if you're a Green Ducks fan, you should be very excited. You're always in the mix. You're always right there outside the top three, if not in the top three. I think you're going to be just fine. I don't think they're chokers. Obviously, a tough Marbula 1 right outside the podium here on Marble League. But I still have confidence in the Green Ducks.
I agree with you. I don't think they're chokers, but I think that what do you call it? That storyline is getting built about them, and it's the worst place to be is that fourth place in back-to-back events, because it's almost better if you're just like for Jungle Jumpers, for example. People are going to praise you because you came a little bit from the basement and are now in fifth place. But the Green Ducks, they continue to just be right outside of that podium, so it's starting to – that's kind of where the magnifying glass is going to be, is right on that edge, and they keep being right on that edge. So they are developing a little bit of this problematic loser.
Yeah, I just think it's only a matter of time before they crack this, break the seal. Yeah. I just think it's only, you hang around the top three enough, you're going to get in it. And I think, looking for future events, I think they're going to be right in the mix. So.
But until we see that there is going to be the storyline.
The media is going to be asking those questions.
And the more times that we see them in fourth, fifth, sixth, right outside of that leaderboard,
the pressure mounts.
Yeah,
so it's a good point. I don't necessarily agree with it. But, we'll see what Billy and Mallard and the crew have in store here. Let's go to Levente.
Love it.
Another
regular.
Hey, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on something. Did we see something similar happen in the All-Stars Bobsled and the Marble League Bobsled? Of course, I'm talking about this year. The Hazers ran last with 16 seconds, then everybody just magically sped up. I think this is not a coincidence. Yale and his team maybe tweaked something. Okay, I'm saying that a little bit.
Okay.
Is there more to it?
Intense, but we saw something similar in the Marble League. I don't know. Is it a coincidence?
All right.
I want to get your guys' opinion on this.
When did the Hazers race in this most recent iteration? Were they one of the first teams to go
in the bobsled?
I didn't know. I didn't notice this whole this. Did you notice it? The speed up?
I did notice the speed up. I don't like buying into all these theories. I did notice the speed up. I'm not going to die on that hill at all. He does have a point. I'll say that he does have a slight point. I'd love to hear people in the comments what they have to say.
I didn't notice it.
I noticed it, and if you didn't notice it, I would recommend you go and watch it back again with that in mind. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Okay.
I don't want to go into the deep, dark conspiracies.
I didn't see that out of Levente. I didn't peg him for a conspiracy guy.
You know what? I'm not either, so I don't know. Just go back and watch it. You can make your own opinions.
Yeah,
it was definitely.
I know I have to go back and watch it.
It was definitely interesting. I'll leave it at that. It was definitely interesting. A good voicemail. Thought-provoking.
Yeah. Levente, I'll keep calling in. We love hearing your voice. Just the pauses, they're special.
It's awesome. I'm guessing English isn't your first language, so all credit to you. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you for commenting. The next commenter, the next voicemailer, we appreciate him a lot.
Yeah, he's all over the voicemails.
We have many voicemails. We can only get to a couple. I would just urge Reese out there, maybe limit it to 1 or 2 voicemails, just so we can get to them. We're going to play Reese's most recent.
Yeah. No, Reese, do your thing.
Do your thing. Keep voicemailing. We love you.
Yeah. But we're only going to play one.
We're only going to play one here just because we don't have a ton of time. But we're going to play his most recent one here. Reese. Thank you, Reese.
Hey, guys. I have 2 things I want to talk about. And my first thing that I want to talk about is a lot of people said the Limers and Team Primary shouldn't have been here. Nor the Balls of Chaos. Now, I think the Balls of Chaos... because of their new coach, they wanted to put them in. But the Limers in Team Primary, that's really weird, right? But no. who would have expected these two teams to get golds? Like, who would have expected? Greg Woods even made a joke about bingo card. Who marked that on their bingo card?
Please.
So I think maybe they're just proving us wrong. And I think I see bright a future for those teams. And my other take is pretty harsh about the Savage Speeders. Levente, I'm coming at you here.
Wow.
And I think the Savage
voicemailer
Speeders,
beef.
Coach Quickly, should be fired.
Wow.
I really do. It's just
Look
been
at that run.
slow for them.
This is
I mean,
great.
They do have slow years, but normally in the Marble League All-Stars, they would be really good, right? Because it's an all-star tournament, right? They're known as an all-star team. They're really good. Not sure what happened, but yeah.
We might need to get Reese and Levente on, and Jared. We might need to have a roundtable discussion here.
I'll tell you, Reese, that was a great voicemail.
That was maybe the best yet.
That was his best voicemail yet. A lot to unpack there. We did not plan that either.
I had not listened to that.
Let me just be known. Calling out our previous voicemail, Levente.
That's awesome.
Who's known to be a Savage Speeders fan.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's unpack Reese's voicemail. Thank you, Reese, for the voicemails.
My brain is a little jumbled now. I need you to snout.
The first 45 seconds there, you kept me on a roller coaster there, Reese. It was up and down. I loved you. I hated you. I ended up loving you. Who would have thought that the Limers in primary come 1 and 2? I totally agree with you. I think it's awesome, which I think you agree with. And you know what? It's great for them to be up top. So I'm happy when it comes to that.
It's a good thing that they did come up top, because it would have been probably a bad look on maybe JMR's perspective if like Limers, Balls of Chaos, and Primary were all the bottom of the barrel. It would have been like, what are we doing putting these teams in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're proven right, and it's the opposite. They got to get credit or they got to get blame, and they deserve credit right now for putting the Limers in.
I totally agree, and I think maybe the Balls of Chaos, obviously they're not doing well, but still a lot of racing to be had. Yeah. So I think Reese makes a great point there. Let's unpack that second point, because I think that's an even more important point.
What was
saying.
the point? I'm lost.
So if you're lost, like
I got
Russ
lost
here,
after the Levente.
Well, that's the second point here.
I know.
So if you guys don't know, Levente is a Savage Speeders fan.
Yes.
He's a big Savage Speeders fan, obviously a big fan of the show. Savage Speeders, a storied franchise, obviously deservingly in the All-Stars event. Reese is coming out here and saying that Quickly, their coach, should be canned. They should get rid of him.
Okay.
He's saying the Savage Speeders of old are nowhere to be found. The excellence
hard to disagree this year
that goes with the Savage Speeders is missing. And his argument is, where's the speed in the Savage Speeders name?
Can we look at Quickly's? Can we go down? How long has he been the coach? Because if he's, there's something about being a coach, and obviously historical victories play a factor. But Reese might be right here, because if the message can just get stale in the locker room, obviously the coach might have great success in the past, but if the message starts to get stale, then it is time to sometimes just move on and get a refresher. So
I would agree with that. Just looking through at Quickly's career here, 2019 to present. He's been the coach for almost about 6 years now. 187 total events, 62 medals. Obviously
Solid.
Some great events great wins in events when it comes to Marble League. What is it? MS Marble 1 season 4 here. I can go through, 2019, 2020, they had great success. To your point though, 6 long years as the coach. Has the message run dry?
Yeah.
As this new generation of young racers come in, young marbles, is he as effective as he once was?
100%. I mean, Reese, it's a question that I never thought of. But maybe Savage Speeders do need to look at it, especially if they can't do well here in this best of the best event.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this year, last year, 2024, MS 100, they came in 16th place. Marble 1, 9th place, and obviously in the past Marble League, they came in 13th place. Not good enough.
Not where you want to be if you're the Savage Speeders.
If you're the Savage Speeders. So Reese makes a great point. I'm very curious to hear Levente's response. Maybe we'll get another voicemail for next week.
I can't wait for next week to see these two. We might need to get them in if that's possible.
Absolutely. And if you have other thoughts, feel free to leave a voicemail here because these are great. These are one of my favorite things we do.
Again, there's a number of voicemails we didn't get to, but keep sending them. We love the thought-provoking questions. We love answering your guys' questions. Our favorite thing is interacting with you guys. Voicemails is like some of my favorite stuff that we do.
110%.
And speaking of, one of my friends, a little bit in the Marble community, Will, he visited the Yellows Marble Runs in Netherlands last week.
That's awesome.
Or this past.
I think I saw that
week
on Instagram. Maybe.
Did you?
Yeah, I might have.
So yeah, he's a friend. through what I won't get it. We're friends.
The Marvelverse.
Yes, through the Marvelverse, and he's in the Netherlands. Said that it was an amazing time. Said that they were the nicest, most welcoming people. Had the best time seeing the stage, seeing the racers. He saw the real racers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe I'll put a picture in here if that's okay with Will. We'll see.
Absolutely. No surprises there. I mean, JMR is all
Top
class. All class. So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah. Do we want to get into the Marble Madness?
I'm jacked up. I'm jacked up here.
I'll cue a little music here.
Yeah, can we preface before we go into it? Let's just preface the event, preface a lot of stuff here, as you said. Go ahead.
So the first thing I want to say is if you're listening right now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or just anything non-visual, you might want to switch over to YouTube because it'll help you understand. But also, if you want to just keep listening on the podcast, I'll leave the audio in so you can listen to it like radio style. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And at this time, you can't submit brackets anymore, which is a bummer because I know a lot of people are probably going to see this episode and be like, dang, I wish I could submit a bracket. Don't worry. This is only going to be about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, maybe 1 month event, and then we'll do another bracket later on in the year. So just stay tuned for that.
Totally agree.
And the other thing I want to say is we are not Greg Woods. We did our best to announce these races.
Far from it.
Far from Greg Woods. So cut us a little bit of slack. We're going to try and get better each time we record these races. But yeah, just definitely give us some critiques on the camera angles, on if you want to hear more or less of us doing play-by-play. What do you have?
No, yeah, I think Russ said it best. I think we're having fun with this. I think the bracket's kind of a new idea. In no way are we trying to replace JMR or copy Greg Woods or do our own events.
Not even close.
We're just kind of doing this for fun. We love brackets. We think this bracket challenge is great for our community. So feel free. You can be kind about it, but tell us, what we could do better, whether it's filming, different angles, less commentary, more commentary. I think, it was a great first video, but obviously we can improve. So anything you guys think, feel free to let us know in the comments.
And another point, if you didn't manage to fill out a bracket, so we're going to post it. I'll post it up right now. The picture of the bracket. If you want, you can print that out or just screenshot it, and you can still fill out your own bracket and follow along. That'll definitely be fun. And you can compare yours to the leaderboard. So the software that we're doing it on obviously tracks the leaderboard, has whoever's in first, whoever has the most picks right.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see that.
It's going to be really cool.
And we will do some kind of prize for the winner.
We will.
I know that question's been asked a lot.
I promise we will.
We'll do some kind of, give them their flowers, say their name on the YouTube video and stuff like that.
Probably send them something.
It pays to be a winner. So if you have a bracket out there, you're rooting for your bracket. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's madness. I mean, if you're not familiar with brackets in March Madness, I expect some madness here when we're racing marbles. Upsets can happen and will happen. So we'll see.
So should we throw it down now?
Let's throw it down. The first round, let's preface this, the top left of the bracket.
Yes.
The first 4 races.
Yep.
And that's kind of how we're going to do these videos.
Yeah, another critique, just if you want to see maybe more or less than 4 races per video, I think that's our idea right now, is to do 4 per video. But if I don't know if you want to see maybe more, I don't know. Well, that's probably what we'll stick with.
We can mess with it, but I think it was an awesome 4 races. I'll tell you that. That's the only teaser I'll give.
It was. Should we throw it down now?
Let's throw it down.
We now welcome you to the Marble Madness first round, where we are going to be focusing today on the top left quadrant. Shim, what are you looking forward to here in these matchups today?
The much anticipated Marble Madness. Over 250 brackets submitted. I am absolutely jacked up for this. Looking for the Kobalts to make a run, and they will be in my Final 4. Excited to get going.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out of Mellow Yellow. They're a team that I expect to make a run. But let's focus in here now on Momo versus the Shining Swarm. We got Momo, the 1 seed, 32 seeded Shining Swarm. Momo is going to be on the side closest to us, and they're off. We see Momo with a slight lead here, down through the green. Triangular twister, and here comes the purple into the funnels.
I'm really watching for these yellow funnels here. Let's see who can make up ground and maybe make a surprise jump up to the first place.
I think you're right. I think these funnels are going to be where people make their money. And we see Momo with a serious lead now, a whole funnel ahead. Shining Swarm trying to make their way through the red peg obstacle, taking a little bit of a strange line here. Could that lead to their advantage? Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Momo is shocked.
Shiny coming from behind, shocking everyone in classic Thunderbolts fashion, even though he plays for the Shining Swarm, and finishes first in race 1. As we watch the replay here, what an effort from Shiny of the Shining Swarm.
Just caught Momo by absolute surprise. They thought they had the race handled, taking their time through the last funnel, and what a great line here as we approach the second race. Here we go. We got Momo with another early lead. Shining Swarm quickly making up ground. It's pretty even through the twisty green, down to the twisty purple.
Momo on the far side of track here. We'll see what track is running quicker. Looks like it's pretty even so far through race 2.
It does. Both marbles. Who's going to enter this funnel first? We have Swarm going through first. Can they steal this from Momo, the 32 seed? Can they beat the 1 seed?
Wow, and Momo far behind now.
Looking fatigued as they go through the red pegs, and it looks like they're stuck.
Oh my goodness. We look shiny finishing through this blue funnel here. He's going to win easily and take this matchup. The biggest upset in the first race. 32 beats the 1 seed.
And brackets everywhere are being busted, but folks, don't lose faith now because I'm sure a lot of people had Momo in that matchup.
Wow. And on to our next matchup here. The Gliding Glaciers, the 16 seed against the 17 seeded Kobalts. A pretty storied matchup here. We're going to see how this fares, as we should expect an even race as they come down here into the green funnel.
The 16 seed versus the 17 seed here, it should be the closest matchup we have.
It should be a great matchup as we enter the yellow funnels here. We'll see who exits first. It's looking like the Kobolts have the upper hand, and
it does.
They will fall through first, leaving the Gliding Glaciers in the dust.
A little bit slow on that red peg obstacle, though.
But the Gliding Glaciers struggling to get through that yellow funnel. Now they do.
Big lead here for Kobalts.
Let's see if Cerulean can finish the job here. We saw the Shining Swarm upset on the blue funnel.
Wow.
And we see it again. The Gliding Glaciers coming from behind, through with that blue funnel and taking the first race.
They take the lead, and the Kobalts really looked like they were taking their time through the funnels there. But let's go to race 2 here, switching sides.
Race 2 looks pretty even to start. Let's see if the Kobolts can bounce back.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
A little caught up on that green.
Yeah, got
green
a little
boomerang.
caught up there. They're going to enter the yellow funnel second. The Gliding Glaciers in the lead here. As we roll around here, the Gliding Glaciers look to have the lead, and they do, exiting the yellow funnel first, and now onto the blue funnels.
We've seen this near side have a lot of leads coming into this blue funnel, but the far side is taking advantage sometimes on a comeback. It's going to be tough here, though.
If history tells us the Kobolts could make a jump and come back here, let's see how it finishes. And the Gliding Glaciers
With the sweep.
Are going to sweep the Kobolts and move on to the Sweet 16.
Wow.
Cerulean obviously upset as he rolls through that blue funnel.
That's a tough pick for you there.
Not happy about it. Let's check out this replay. This is really what hurt the Kobolts and Cerulean here.
Both competitors had a little bit of a catch-up there on that green twister.
Small margins there, and the Gliding Glaciers are moving on.
They're pulsing through. What do we got next? We have Wolfpack versus Mellow Yellow, the 9 versus 24 seed, but it's probably much closer than that. Am I right?
Great matchup here. I'm looking for Mellow Yellow to shock the world.
I think so, too. I think they're a better team than their seed, and here they go, twisting through the green twister. Oh, a little bit caught up there. Wolfpack, it's a pretty dead even heat right now. The funnels is where you make your money. Wolfpack looks like they have that advantage on that obscure line, while Mellow Yellow takes more of a circular angle. Wolfpack looks like they're going to drop first, and they do.
We'll see if Wolfpack start to fatigue here after a long marble league. It doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon, though.
Yeah, they did have a long marble league. Mellow Yellow well rested, but still, it looks like the rest versus rust argument is going to Wolfpack here. Staying nice and ready for this moment. And they take race 1.
A pretty easy win for Wolfpack there. We'll see if Mellow Yellow can bounce back in race number 2 here.
We haven't seen a game 3 yet. Could this be the time?
This could be the time as we enter the beginning here. And pretty even to start. Mellow Yellow definitely looking faster after race 1. Maybe the wake-up call they needed as we enter the yellow funnels.
Here they go. This looks like a dead even heat right now. Mellow Yellow's going to have to dig deep if they want to force a game 3. They got a mountain to climb ahead of them. It's the 9-seeded Wolfpack.
It's looking like they're coming out with a little bit more jump here as they exit the yellow funnels first, and now they're onto the blue funnels. A lead here, but we've seen this story before. Will the Wolfpack mount a comeback here?
Working their way through the pegs. What kind of line are they going to take on this? They're going to need to take an aggressive one if they're going to have to beat Mellow Yellow here. Are we going to see our first game 3?
Mellow Yellow looking to get through the blue funnel.
Like we're going to see the rubber match.
Wow. And a game 3 in a great first-round matchup here. Who do you got going into game 3 here?
It's going to be tough to see. Wolfpack's going to have this near side, which we've seen win, I think, both the races so far. They picked this race because they're the higher seed, so they get to choose. Let's see if it pays off for them. Oh, Mellow Yellow caught up on the green twister.
Wow, we've seen that a couple times now, that green twister, giving people a problem on that upper track.
Almost mirror images of themselves right now.
Looking like Wolfpack might be the faster.
Slight groan there from the cameraman.
Interesting. Maybe he loves marbles.
Yeah.
Wolfpack looks like going to exit the yellow funnel first.
It's tough. There it is. Looks like, we're losing Wolfpack on the camera. Pretty shoddy camera work there. But here we go. We got Wolfpack into the blue funnel first. One of those aggressive lines from the far side. Who's going to take this?
Oh,
To earn a spot in the Sweet 16, it will be Mellow Yellow.
wow.
Beating the Wolfpack, and we see another upset.
Wow. And a little comeback there. Not as big as we saw in the past. Let's see that replay. Mellow Yellow winning the blue funnel race and ultimately winning the whole entire race 2-1.
2-1, and we're seeing these high seeds go through here. We got a 32 seed and 24 seed upset. This is a huge. Oh, Mellow Yellow with a little 90-degree turn there. Interesting.
They are very jovial after the
They
win.
are.
The Raspberry Racers, the 8-seeded Raspberry Racers, facing the Thunderbolts, the 25 seed. Let's see if we can shock the world here for the Thunderbolts as we start this race. Looking pretty even to start as we go down into the yellow funnels here.
Not a lot of trouble through that first section for either racer.
Both racers looking pretty fast here as we enter the yellow funnel, but as we know, this is where you make your money. Who can exit the yellow funnel first? It's looking like the Thunderbolts. And that's who it's going to be, and it will be the Thunderbolts exiting
race.
first.
We've seen that top funnel on that far side win a lot of these close contested matchups. Let's see if Raspberry Racers can continue that trend.
Shock is looking good as we exit the blue funnel.
It's a tight one.
It could be close here.
This first matchup is always huge too, and it's going to go to the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Wow.
That's the first time we've seen both competitors in that Grimace steps down there at the end.
The Grimace steps, yeah, and we'll see race number 2. Obviously, the racers are switching tracks here.
Do or die time for the Raspberry Racers.
I'll say this, both racers look ready to race. I mean, this is the fastest we've seen this track race.
Yeah.
And it's lining up for a great matchup here.
These are again, mirror images through the yellow funnel here.
Will we see a game 3 or will we see a sweep by the Thunderbolts? Another upset following your brackets. Looks like the Thunderbolts are going to exit that yellow funnel first. Raspberry Racers really quickly behind them. And it comes down to the blue funnel.
Comes down to this. Raspberry Racers, a storied franchise, a fruit franchise that could meet their Mellow Yellow rival in the next round if they can advance. But it looks like Thunderbolts might get it done here. Shades of 2017, the Thunderbolts are headed to the Sweet 16.
The Thunderbolts shocking the world. Upset special. What a round of upsets as we look at our winners here in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, should we throw it back up to the studio so we can take a look at this bracket and dissect it a little bit?
Let's throw it back up to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, yeah, thanks.
Race on.
Race on. Those were some races.
Content filled.
Content filled.
Content filled.
Do we want to take a look at just at the results that happened?
Let's
and
take a look
do a little
as
bit of analysis.
as I pull them up here. If I can pull them up.
It's all right,
Let me buy some time
So,
here.
I mean, obviously we saw the Shining Swarm go through. Unbelievable upset. And now we're going to have the Gliding Glaciers face off against Shining Swarm. I mean, who expected this?
Insane. I mean, Momo going down. You can't blame the track. You can't blame anything. That's just Momo. Maybe some fatigue, and maybe it wasn't their day.
Yeah, maybe they hung their hat on Marble 1. They were ready to or Marble League. Sorry.
I'll tell you this, and you could probably see my bracket up there because this will be live, on the leaderboard. I didn't have that upset. My bracket was busted quick.
I think I got one of these 4.
Yeah, I had the Kobalts and Momo. So insane. Let's go to the second matchups here. Wolfpack, a little upset there. Mellow Yellow beating the Wolfpack, 24 seed, taking down a 9.
It is the upset, but I think a lot of people were pretty aware that this could happen. So obviously in the first round, we saw the 32 beat the 1, the 24 beat the 9, the 25 beat the 8. But that 24 seed that was a little bit of a facade. We all knew that they were better than the 24 seed and maybe even better than the Wolfpack.
I would agree. I mean, we take a look at this, like, I think the really only real upset would be the 32 beating the 1, the Shining Swarm taking down Momo. You can argue Mellow Yellow and the Wolfpack are very similar, very not that big of a disparity when it comes to seeding. I would agree too. The Thunderbolts and the Raspberry Racers are much closer than they were seeded.
Agreed.
So, and as we look ahead, the first matchup of the next video, Green Ducks Rangers, the 4 versus 29. It's not a good depiction of how close that race is going to be.
Yeah.
So don't get too carried away with the seeding. But I think there's going to be some more shocks.
I think so too. Cannot wait to keep getting into this bracket stuff. I hope you guys like it.
Any predictions for the next bottom left of the bracket?
I'm trying to think of what I have in my bracket, but I mean, I'm rooting for the Rangers, but I certainly would not be upset if the Green Ducks took them down because it's a team that we both root for, and that it's kind of ironic that they're the 4 seed.
Yeah, it is ironic.
They're the 4 in about every single thing they come in. So I'm hoping they can make a little bit of a run. It's a shame they have to play the Rangers first round, but I'm really excited to see these matchups next episode.
Should be awesome. And hopefully next video, we'll see the Limers still in first place in the All-Stars and my bracket looking better than ever. So
yeah,
we'll
you feeling good?
Feeling good.
All right, guys, girls, and marbles. That's going to be it for us today. Thank you so much. Keep commenting, liking, subscribing. And thanks so much for tuning in. We're rolling out.
Peace.